All right, welcome to the Creatives Will podcast. My name is Justin. I am your host. The Creatives Will is a platform for Christian entrepreneurs, creatives, and visionaries, purpose seekers, you name it, to be refreshed, renewed, and revitalized for their God given purposes and callings. Because why? Life is rough, the road is tough, and people are ghetto. But we still have to continue because whatever God has called us to do, we can't have excuses. We got to keep doing it. So, I love to talk about all things creative, all things the Bible, all things the Word. Sometimes I like to bring guests along because, I get tired of hearing me talk, and I know y'all want to hear somebody different. So I got my boy, the minister, Nathan Gaines here. And the burning question I have for you is, what does Geach mean?
I've been waiting for this question to be asked, but nobody,
Nobody has ever
nobody,
asked you.
nobody's asked.
See, this is
So
why you come to this podcast. We ask the hard hitting questions.
nobody's asked. This was given to me in high school. I think this was like sophomore, junior year,
Okay.
and it just stuck ever since. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know where it stemmed from.
That's a shame.
It was just fitting. It was just fitting, I guess. And since then, that's what I've been called. It's either Nate Geach, Minister Geach. It just fits.
For the longest time, I thought it was a middle name. Because there's like a Geechee people in Louisiana. And I was like, he's from like Virginia and Florida. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, something's not right about this. You were born here, right? You were born in.
Nah, I was born in
You
Florida,
were born
a
in
little
Florida.
small
Okay.
town, Dunnellon, Florida.
Where is that?
Small town.
Near like Orlando,
So yeah, it's
Tallahassee,
like
Miami.
near Orlando,
Okay. Okay.
Gainesville, like 30 minutes from Gainesville.
Is that why your last name is
That's a good question, but
there?
nah.
Just when you say stuff, I feel like, huh, okay. Um, what's a fun fact about you that people don't know?
A fun fact about me is I have a birthmark inside my eye, my pupil. So hazel eyes runs in the family,
You got
and it's
shades on, so no
always
one, no one can verify
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This was just in case I got emotional, but yeah, I have a hazel eye. I mean, hazel eye. I have a birthmark in my eye. So
Huh.
I was supposed to get the hazel eyes in the family, or at least with my parents, but my dad's genes took over, so left me with the little like birthmark in my eye.
Your mom did have life. Hmm. Now that makes sense. Okay, that's cool. Now I'm gonna be looking in your eyes and now I know
No daddy.
because now I gotta find it. Now I gotta find it. That's what's up. So Nate is a minister at our church. Um, actually, this episode will come out this week. So he's passed his test for his ceremony, his licensing is on Sunday. But you've been ministering for a long time. But beyond that, Nate is also a creative. Nate is someone who has always amazed me in the way that he presents stuff. Because there are definitely people who can preach and teach, right? Like, but there are certain people who know how to convey it, like in a story or in a captivating way. And to me, you have that more artistic style of preaching, which I think will be very useful because it seems like, and not pigeonholing you in this, but it feels like God is like place you in like the youth, young adult arena for now. I'm not saying that's where you will always be, and you're also called to adults already. Um, but especially when it comes to youth and young adults, like most most youth and young adults need some pictures, they need some stories, they need it to be told in a different way. But beyond that, he also tells the story of the gospel through clothing. So I want to introduce to some, and hopefully reintroduce to other, the gifted apparel line. So can you tell me, like, why clothes? Like, why go that avenue?
So, well, for one, for myself, always been big in fashion, and the generation and the time that we live in, everybody's about fashion, about looking good and stuff like that. So, for me, it was always okay. Let me make this a God thing, right? Because I want to be able to push the message of Christ in every way that I can without compromising the gospel. And so, to meet people where they're at, people love clothes, so why not use clothes to evangelize, to share the gospel of Jesus Christ
Yeah.
while looking good.
And so, can you like describe your line? Like, if someone had to say like, what is your line like? Like, what kind of indicators would you give it?
I mean, I would say it's like streetwear type. So you got the oversized, boxy look. the crop look, the flare look.
Emphasis on the crop look.
Yeah, yeah.
If you were
Well,
buying,
go up a
support
size.
him.
Go up a
Yes,
size.
go up
Go
a
up a
size.
size or two. You know what I'm saying? Now
Or
it's not that
two
it's
is
not that
crazy.
it's not that crappy. It's not that crappy, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go up a size or two if you need to.
Nate makes clothes for those who are keep their temples fit, but he does have multiple sizes as well. I got a pair of shorts, so if that's something, backward shorts.
It's
So
on the way. It's on the way.
nah, I'm excited. So what, like, where do you see yourself with the clothing line? Like, what are your goals for it? Your goals or dreams or hopes?
Man, international, worldwide, we serve a big God, so why not, pray big, ask big, all of that. I really never thought too much on it. It was more so just do and trust God with it along the way. Just do my part, do what He's called me to do, step out on faith with it, and He'll take care of the rest. So eventually, right now, because I can't see that far, but I trust God. So I'm gonna keep doing what He's called me to do, keep doing what He's gifted me to do, and see where it takes me from there.
And the fact is, and it's not just because you're my friend, not just because you're my brother, your clothes actually look really good. So and this is encouragement to you, but also to anybody, like, just wait for the Lord to show you your audience because uh, I'm gonna get it wrong, but it's like either Luke 4, Luke 5, where he calls the disciples when they're out fishing, like calls the disciples out. And so Matthew 5, I don't know, it's the beginning of the Gospels. um, and they're upset because they had been fishing and they couldn't catch anything that whole night. But when Jesus told them to put down their nets, and when he told them to put down their nets in a specific place in a specific space, they came back with a big harvest. So I think the encouragement for you and then anybody watching is like, just ask God who your audience is because not everyone's gonna like it. Like there are gonna be some people who don't want like the tank like that you got on, or don't want the hoochies, hoochie shorts or the crops shirts or whatever, or the hats or whatever. Like, but there are gonna be plenty of people who do. So like whatever you have, like make sure you you just ask seek God for guidance and like where it is. So the process so far, like what have been the ups and the downs of kind of this journey so far?
Man, the ups and downs has been, I would say, for one, like the delays with the vendors, um, trying to do everything on your own. Don't ever make that mistake. Ask questions, ask for help, seek those who have been in this journey for some time because they have words of encouragement. They know the different things, the different processes when it comes to like taxes and all that type of different things like that. And don't get frustrated when sales are not peaking right away because it's a slow ride. It's a slow ride. You just gotta trust the process, and that process is seeking God first, and all His righteousness and everything else will be added unto you, right? And praying about it and instead of just putting it out there, right? Not doing it on your own. Definitely seek the Lord first on everything you do outside of branding, everything that you do.
Yeah, no, that's good because so go ahead, one more. Go ahead.
Um,
It's your turn.
yeah, finances too. Like sometimes stuff may be overpriced. You might have to, take things back on how much you wanted to order or different things like that. So, finances, making sure things are aligned, not trying to put things out too fast or, put too much out at one time. Take things slow. So,
Yeah, that's what's up. Because I think even with the vendor thing, and this is because I know, like, you having vendors in China, which is totally fine, but knowing their schedule and like knowing like if you have a Chinese vendor at the beginning of the year, it's not a good time to get in contact with them because Chinese New Year is a huge thing, right? Um, I think and like other places like whether I know some people get their stuff both from India and like stuff like that. So around Diwali, really like just knowing the times and the culture that you're working with. America pretty much wants 24/7, which is
yeah,
good,
so
good and bad.
I actually ran into the Chinese New Year problem. Like I had a shipment being created in the midst of that, and so that delayed things being shipped off to me at a time that I wanted to be there. but definitely paying attention to stuff like that. The different time frames, like when we're going to bed, they're up. So
Right.
you're trying to stay up all late at night to try to make sure things are in order before you go to sleep and stuff like that. So just planning. Definitely have a plan, be organized with it, and do your research.
People don't people don't quite understand the work it takes to do business owner. They just see the they're like, oh man, you got clothes, so you must be rich or you must be doing whatever. Uh, but last time, I feel like at least what I know is your first route was the hats, right? So you had the Yahweh hats and Jumps with Fire for real. I'm just not a hat person, but I got it upstairs. I don't dress mannequins with it, all sorts of stuff. But when you did the Yahweh trucker, which I'm gonna put a picture up here, uh, what made you have that as your first like hat in your company?
I just seen a lot of people wearing hats, and then for me, like ever since I had cut my hair, I'm like, man, I could wear hats now. Like I could have wore hats before, but the hats just look better on short cut hair and stuff like that. And then trucker hats was just something that was in style. It is still in style, but that was peaking at that point in time. I was like, so let me just, see how this goes as my first drop. See how will people bite on it or not. And glory be to
The
God, it
people liked
was.
it.
Yeah, glory be to God, I was able to sell out my first drop. So
That was when was it? Was that Creative World? I thought
yeah,
you
yeah,
sold some there.
that was at the crate as well. My
Okay.
first time when you told me to bring
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Time is flying.
it's fine.
It was weird, but yeah. So, have you ever wanted to give up?
I would be lying if I said no.
Okay.
Man, I don't, and you know as well, man. Like I wanted to give up a few times. Like, man, this is too much. I don't see it. Even though I was able to sell out my first drop, it's just the process and the time consuming and the balance of life. Work, family, ministry, and different things like that. It's like I don't really got time for this, but if God has called you to it, if God has gifted you to do it, and to remember that it's not for you at the end of the day, it's to share the gospel of Jesus Christ, to share your gifts with others. Right? God told us to serve others with the gifts that He has given us. So to trust the process, no matter how it looks in the beginning. Just know that's just the groundwork, and eventually, because it is a gift from God, and you are using it for His glory, it's going to be successful no matter what. You just gotta trust the process.
What has God taught you through this journey of entrepreneurship?
Man, that's a good question. Um, I see. I'm gonna try to even answer this one. I think one of the things that He has taught me is that I can do this. I can do this.
Plain and simple.
He has gifted me to do it, and it has also strengthened my faith muscle. Um, to know that everything that I'm doing for Him, it will prosper.
That's really good because I feel like, yeah, I feel like sometimes we don't catch hold to the lessons quickly. Like God's trying to show us something, but we are just not like hard. Well, sometimes we're hard. Like I know I'm hard headed, but like sometimes we're just oblivious. Like we don't catch it, right? Like we're just in the midst of it. And I think it's important to see the lessons that the teacher, our rabbi, is trying to tell us. What's been your favorite part so far of like this process, or like
Uh,
a high moment? Yeah, a high moment. Like a high moment or a favorite part.
Man, the high moments is my brother Charles. Shout out my brother Charles. He got a clothing line as well, Christian clothing line. He hit my phone like, "Yo, bro, I'm at the gym. I see somebody with your merch on." Like, and he would say this like,
That's something.
frequently. So just running into people with my merch on, getting texts from people from my merch on with my merch on, getting a text from you like, "Yo, is this your shirt? You started selling them yet?" Like, getting texts like that, or people reaching out like, "Yo, this is fire. I love what you're doing." Just randomly, be strangers like, "Keep going, man. I really support stuff like this." I'll be at work. People at work ask me, stuff about it and things like that. So just that alone is just, encouragement that what I'm doing, all for the glory of God. What I'm doing is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing about it, like, what Nate probably won't say is like he know a whole lot of people, And so I feel like Nate knows all of Woodbridge because everywhere I go, even someone's been like, I've had people be like, you know Nate? And I'm like, I do. And it's one, this is also a good thing. I'm never ashamed to say I know. Because there's sometimes where people might be like, you know so and so, and I'd be like, yeah, I know. And they're like, oh man, but it's always positive. It's always love when people are talking about you. But like, we were at we were at a restaurant one time, and somebody I can't remember his name now, but he was wearing your hat, and I was like staring at the hat, and I'm like, it was the brown trucker hat, and I was like looking at it, and he was like, what? And I was like, oh, just looking at your hat. He's like, yeah, yeah, my boy designed it. And I was like, yeah, I go to church with him. And he was like, what? And then we just started talking about like how much of a light you are. So I think like what people don't realize is that when you do the things and put out the products that God has called you to do, like it's more than just a product. It's really like a conversation starter. It's a spark. It's to share about the goodness of God, to do whatever. Um, so like, so now it's time for just some fun random questions. So if you had to design a shirt today, what would you put on the shirt?
Man, really don't even want to talk about it because I actually just got a design made
Okay, so
recently.
so not don't put out what
So
you're
yeah,
gonna do.
yeah. Man,
Everybody on the internet in check or somebody might steal your design.
that's why I didn't want to really want to answer this question because I have some people they'll send me not to get off topic, they'll send me stuff like, man, I think you should do this. I think you should remix this in your own way. Like people send me different designs and stuff to remix it so they can copy it. But I think the next one, 'cause we just talked about it earlier, the next idea really was to make a design tailored to being official of men. So
Oh, okay.
I don't want to get into too much detail on how I'm gonna do it, but look out for that one as well though. So I'm gonna do that one
Do you know
next.
how to fish? I feel like we went through this last year.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
we
what
got
they
we got
find.
we got that video on TikTok. You help me.
that that's what. Yeah.
I'm still not putting the bait on the hook though, but
No, no, you got to. You
I
got to.
I still ain't doing that one yet.
so
I gotta
now,
work on that
so
one.
now we got to go fishing. We got to go fishing
Yeah,
this
we
week.
gotta go fishing for
I want
sure.
to cut this. I'm get so distracted. I want to cut this piece of whatever. It's gonna, oh, this is works. Anyway, so and I don't really be editing for real. So this is all gonna be in there.
Ain't no bloopers on the video.
Nah, because who got time to pay an editor? And like, I got too many things going on. Like, I gotta just we running with it. So, all right. So that was that question. So if you had to um have any like influencer, celebrity, they Christian or not, who would you want to wear your clothes?
Man, I'm trying to think of what's your boy name? Ezekiel.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. Ezekiel. Nah, for real. Like so, like when I first met him at your was it the Holy Hoodlum or the Creator's Well?
There you go.
The
There you go.
Creator's Well. When I seen his style, that's what really made me change up my style. And just watching his different videos, he's doing everything he's doing for the kingdom,
Yes,
the people that he's reaching and stuff like that. That's somebody that I would definitely want to wear the products that I'm putting out there.
that's what's up. Well, offline, we can talk about that. But if you had to do a pop up at like any major event, like think like Super Bowl, World Series, like whatever the events would be, like what would that event be that you want to do?
Um, man, I don't want to sound too churchy, but like we just talked about, the Black Christian influencer.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I definitely want to pop up to that event, just because different walks of, Christ and journeys that are there popping up, the different creatives that are popping up there, being connected to people like that. That's definitely an event that I look forward to being a part of one day.
Jackie Holbrook, if you're watching this, we're gonna see you 2020. What year is it? 2026 in Chicago.
Amen.
Which is definitely I didn't get to go because my flight got canceled twice, but it's definitely a solid event for any Christian influencers to go to. So if you're watching this, like when she puts out the tickets, you should definitely get them because she starts the tickets mad low. I got my ticket for like $49. Um, if you wait, it's like 150, but just don't wait. Um, okay, so I asked who to collab with, what you would wear. Um, so what if you had to pick? Like, would you do hoodies or t-shirts?
Hoodies for sure. One because a lot of people like to wear hoodies like year round. Like
which is insane.
I don't understand that one. It be hot outside, you would still be wearing a hoodie. So
You know they must be.
definitely,
How you must be for Christ. I don't understand. Just
oh my gosh, man, definitely hoodies for sure. So I'm starting to get into hoodies as well. But I think a
so
hoodie
what
would
you
be
do? Hoodies or hats?
still hoodie. Yeah,
Okay.
still hoodie. Cause you can't wear a hat with everything. I don't think you wear a hat with
That's fair.
everything. So definitely a hoodie still.
Okay. Would you ever think about doing shoes?
Yeah, that's not my lane. If I
Really?
feel if I feel led like creating my own shoe,
Yeah.
if I feel led to that, I would. But nah, I'm gonna stay. You know what? You just sparked an idea. I mean, I'm gonna see.
So
I'm gonna
like,
see.
yeah,
I'm gonna see where that goes. I'm gonna see where that
you
goes.
should
But
consider it. That just seems like something that like, yeah, you're an athlete. Like, I
yeah,
just feel like
for now it's gonna be the clothes. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see
think about that.
what vision is with that one.
I'm gonna just say it because if y'all see it, it is what it is. Or even if you feel it, like you wouldn't be scared, you'd be taking it. But I'd be gifting it. But I want to do I would like to do like an armor of God collection. So like have a hat for like helmet of salvation, but then like you need the shoes to be shod with the gospel of peace. So like I'm always like, well, if me, part of me feeling like they'd be like Air Force Ones, but a nice clean pair of Air Force Ones, but also maybe not. So I don't know. Or like, you remember the movie Hercules? Did you ever watch it? No. So there was a Hermes, or like the messenger guy, had them like wings on his shoes or whatever. I don't know. It's out my mind. Like, the craziness. Um. Okay. You got so those who watch the podcast know that my guests I was asking have a question for me. You got your question for me yet? Or should I keep going?
Yeah, I think the question that I have is, what made you want to start doing, what you're doing as a creative?
Um. So, good question. I think I've always, cause I've been a church boy my whole life, but I've always wanted to do stuff. Like I've always been active. So whether it's for the like events and stuff, it's always been my thing. So anytime my mom was a Sunday school teacher and she was very involved at our church in Roanoke, and so anytime there was like a carnival or a festival or whatever, like I just inadvertently ended up helping. And then my dad ran sound, and he was on the AD ministry, so he did sound, he did video, whatever. So I think just a combination of like being around musicians my whole life, being around like tech equipment, and like also my mom was really probably still one of my favorite teachers. Just like the stuff that she would come up with for not episodes for lessons. I'm like, where did you come up with this? Like she brought deli meat to church one time and like milk, and she made us choose like you only pick one or the other, and like she did it to illustrate like being a milk or meat Christian, and it was like I don't like milk, so it's easy for me. So I like it was like this, and so she was like kind of playing like devil's advocate, like no, get the milk, it's refreshing, it's cool, it's whatever, it's easy to go down, easy to digest, and like there are a lot of people who pick the milk, and then she taught us that whole lesson, and I was like, wow,
That's good.
like
The best y'all see.
I don't like I and then stuff like that, like I just never forget, um, and so I think just that combination of stuff, um, and that's the only place I ever really feel like really like I feel like God's like fully using me like to do events, the producing stuff and whatever. So, um, but it's hard because I don't like people don't believe it, but like I really would be cool like being in the background. Like I like to play a background part. Like I mean, because you're close, but like a lot of people be like, man, like you could just talk and you just be rapping. Like yeah, and I'd be tired and I'd be worn out afterwards. So yeah. Um, So pivoting a little bit, when we can get some music, I'll throw that in there.
Oh man, that's crazy. So I come from a music background as well. My uncles making beats, making music. My mom singing, my grandma singing, all that. So like I've always been into trying to sing a little bit, writing music here and there. So I got a little stuff that's written um, that I'm not gonna perform. I'll probably be writing for other people.
Why
Uh,
wouldn't you perform it?
I might try. I mean, that ain't my lane. That ain't my lane either. But we'll see where that goes as well. But I don't know. I don't know. I guess I got to step out on faith with that one as well because I kind of back pocketed that. Um, but you know,
Nothing is
just
ever
like with
wasted.
everything else, that's good. With everything else, I'm gonna just step out on faith and see what happens.
I
So,
mean, once you have your gift of apparel, like pop-ups and conferences, like you don't have to use it there. So I just feel like you might as well get ready. And I'm be excited. That one will be in the background. I'm excited. I'll be an attendee, and I'll be back telling people what to do. Like, hey, get this right for Nate. Turn this mic up right, because you know he be talking quiet. But anyway, um, so yes, I guess if you had to pick a biblical figure to wear your clothes, who would it be?
man, I'm gonna go with
Other than
Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh
Other than
man,
Jesus.
I guess
That's everybody's
that was
cop
too
out.
easy.
Everybody.
That was too
Because
easy.
it's like if you don't pick Jesus, that feels wrong. So like,
Let me think of
I feel like I know who should wear your clothes, but I'm gonna wait.
man. That's good. I'm trying to think of who I want to choose. Probably go with Samson.
Because you want his muscles to go through your clothes.
Muscles, he had the locks, all that looked good. Hey, that so he was drawn. I mean, I'm drawing the attention and stuff like that.
I
So
can see that he'd be a good brand
you know what I
ambassador
mean? Yeah, he'd be a
until
good
he
model for me.
until he pulled the pillars down on himself.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
so I was thinking, I feel like the cliche quick answer would be David. I feel like that'd be someone who would rock your clothes because you have that one shirt that says "Praise is my purpose." Praise is my purpose. So that made me think of David. Um, and then the Jesus and like Jesus is often called the son of David. So like that's what went through my head. But I also thought like I feel like Paul. Like I could imagine him out like walking through the different churches and like teaching the people like because your message would have spread for sure. They might have associated it with mean letters, but it definitely would have spread no matter what. Um, cool. So for anyone who's starting a clothing line, what advice or advisement like for them? And also, would you do it again? Like, would you know if you know if you knew then what you know now, would you do it
So for the first part, I would encourage people to, trust the process. Don't try to run from the process. Trust God. Take it one step at a time. Take it one day at a time. Um, make sure you have the connections. Reach out, ask for help, do your research. Just don't, go out there and just do. And for the second part is I would do it again. I would do it all over again. One, because God gifted me to do it, and I love to see people cling to the mission, and then also seeing, like you said earlier, that conversations being sparked and that turning into a conversation about Christ, and seeing souls being saved from that, just from a piece of clothing.
so, all right. So where can people follow you?
You can follow me on IG at Lil Geech, LUL_GEETCH. You can follow me on Facebook at Nathan Gaines, and you can follow me on TikTok at the_gifted04. I don't know. It was just, it was just
Just
something I had to,
it was like when you said
just
that, and
something
I
I
was
had to
like,
choose.
that man wasn't born in '04. We wouldn't be having this conversation. That's gross. Two people born in 2000. If you're watching, good for you. But that just feels weird.
04 is
That's like
crazy though.
Ethan. Ethan
Yeah,
was
man.
'03.
Oh, 04, man. 04, I was like 9 years old.
Wait, what year was that? I always forget your age.
96, 96.
96, 93. Just old. Ah, we gonna can this episode. It's never gonna see the light of day. All right, bro. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for
coming through
having
the
me.
crate as well.
Of course, of course.
Um, encouragement for people to. The last thing I'll ask is last week we were on the phone and we were talking about endurance. We were talking about Joseph's story and we were talking about Joseph's story. I have somebody else too.
Joseph and Job, for sure.
Joseph and Job. There we go. Um, what would your lasting advice be for someone to endure?
Lasting advice for someone to endure. Prayer. Spend time with God more than you spend time with people, other things and things of that nature. You know, fast. Make sure you're reading your word. Make sure you're doing the things God has called you to do, right? Because our endurance comes from the scripture. Our endurance comes from prayer and fasting. Our endurance comes from spending that quality time with God and making Him our main priority instead of, the side piece, which He is not at all, right? He has to be your main thing. So, and if you want to get through those enduring seasons, make sure you're spending that time with God and to hold on to the things that He's already brought you out of before. That's going to keep you fueled as well.
Like, what's up? Creatives, we are called to endure. We're called to continue. We're called to keep on. And yeah, um, there's a passage that says the testing of our faith produces. I was getting confused. I know it's a Second Corinthians chapter 4, and it's like around verse 7 or 8. Oh wait, you have a Bible here. Yeah, which one to go to? Second Corinthians 4. Um, I think it started verse 7. I think this one. Because it starts with we have this treasure in jars of clay. Yeah, Second Corinthians 4. We have this treasure in jars of clay to show the surpassing power of Jesus Christ. It's like verse 7. Yeah.
Second Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7. It's the New King James Version. It says, "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellence of the power may be of God and not of us. We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair, persecuted, but not forsaken, struck down, but not destroyed, always carrying about in the body the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life of Jesus also may be manifested in our body. For we live, okay.
That's really good. Nah, I mean the rest is good. The rest is good, but we don't have time to break down all of it. So I stopped there because like so Paul was talking to the Corinthian church and he broke it down. We are jars of clay, and when you think about clay, like it is both beautiful, but it's also easily broken. Um, and but he says that these vessels, these jars of clay, are set forth to show the power. I think the ESV version says like show forth the surpassing power that is of Jesus Christ and His resurrection. And then it goes on to say like we're perplexed but not dismayed. Like I get them all confused all the time, but that's why we read it. But like to remember in the endurance is like you gotta hold fast to that to know that like you're gonna go every which direction and it's gonna feel like it's every direction but right, but God's got you. Um, so yeah, so thank you again, Nate.
Of course. Thank you
Check
for
out
having
his
me.
merch. Link will be in the description and in the bio. And if, as I will tell you for creators as well, because I'm one person but multiple brands. If you are free Saturday, August 23rd, I want to see you at Holy Hoodlum, the Holy Hoodlum experience. As I always say on this podcast, Holy Hoodlum is really a result of the create as well, because it's an overflow of the creativity. When I'm refreshed, renewed, and revitalized, I'm able to do these other things and put on these other events. So I'm excited for it. Nate is actually going to be one of the game show contestants there. That's going to be fun. So yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all later.